at the 35th Maintenance Squadron Propulsion Flight, we are a centralized repair facility, and our mission is to maintain the F-110 GE jet engine for F-16s in PACAF.
This shop specifically, we cover 5 fighter squadrons across 3 wings, so we cover Korea and here as well. Day-to-day, we come in, we find out what engines are priority, what we need to work to get out of here, go to test cell, run, and get ready to be spared out for either TDYs or for the flight line to run.
We have 2 categories in which we will perform maintenance on one of our jet engines. One would be scheduled engine removal and one would be unscheduled. A scheduled engine removal means that the engine has lasted up to its full amount of life cycles that we anticipate.
We have a huge responsibility to overhaul these engines, spare them out as soon as possible to support sorties at each base.
We first perform a receiving inspection that is for all external and internal components, along with a deep data dive to see what the maintenance history is on it and how the engine has been performing if it's a conditional repair. So from there, then we build our plan and we determine the depths of how deep we need to go, if we need to replace the hot section or anything like that, that will continue the health of that engine and reach its full cycle. From there, then we bring it to the jet engine maintenance section. That's where we tear it down completely to all the components we determine we need to replace. We perform our replacements or repairs or blending, and then we put it all back together.
You absolutely get in a groove and it becomes routine, but there's definitely days where almost every day we run into different issues where, you know, we haven't seen it before, or certain challenges throughout the day with different tasks that you're not really expecting. And so we gotta put our heads together. There's nothing that we can't really figure out.
Once it's fully assembled, we'll then perform a few more inspections before we send it over to test cell to make sure we're not missing anything.
We inspect and make sure the engine is safe to run up here at test cell, and we go through a lot of different inspections there. And at that time, we take ownership of the engine and we route it over to our facility. From that point, we get it dressed and loaded with all of the necessary equipment to simulate the engine being installed in an aircraft.
We're looking at all kinds of parameters, making sure everything's safe for flight. So we're looking at temperatures, how fast the parts are rotating, and vibrations going through the engine.
This is where you get to put the engines to the test. This is where you get to see them working at full operation, and it never gets old as far as when you get to put that engine in burner and you see the flames come out the back. I'd say that's probably one of the things that make this job worth it.
We usually test at least 1 engine a week, and once we get the engine up on the stand, it can take anywhere from 2 hours to 12 hours of engine testing to fully complete all our ops checks for an engine.
Once the engine meets all of our testing requirements, we basically do everything in reverse. We shut down, we undress the motor, and we prepare it to go back to the main shop, and we do our final checks and make sure everything is in working order.
We'll do final inspection on it, and before we return it to the aircraft, then we'll get with any FGS and see where the need is to ensure that all missions are being met.
When you finish a job like that, you feel really rewarded. And when you get to see jets flying out there with your engine that you built, you feel like you really accomplished something. And that's probably my favorite part about this job.